So the other day I posted a video called I think it was called Lightworker Message and the Arrival of Extraterrestrial Races. And about 2 nights ago, I was pulling cards for myself because I pull cards for myself and do readings for me. But I pulled cards and I thought, oh, I pulled some cards for confirmation on the video that I posted about the arrival of the extraterrestrial races. And the card that came out was the Ancient Ones. And at the end of the video, I did actually say the arrival of the ancient gods. So when I read this in the books, I don't read the meanings of the cards or anything like that unless I feel called to read. I intuitively read, so I connect with energy and pull guidance that way. So I only read when I feel called to read because I feel that gives me an extra layer or an extra a different perspective or more depth for me to look at the card or the situation. But I felt called to read, so I read what the book was saying, and it just, to me, it all seemed to match up. So this was extra clarification that I definitely need to do this video. And not only that the guidance that was coming through was meaningful. So yeah. The way I want to start this video is basically just by going over the cards that came out the other day when I was pulling the confirmation for the video. And the first card that actually came out was actually card number 1, the Ancient Ones. The next card that came out is card number 2, the Adrian Cross, or the Andrian, I don't know how to say it. And then when I pulled the third card, I was saying to myself, okay, we've got card number 1 and card number 2 that's came out, one after the other. I doubt that energy is going to give us card number 3. And then the card that actually came out was card number 34. So if you can see, obviously, the cards go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read the book for what it says for each card. And if you watch the video where the title is Lightworker Message, the Arrival of Extraterrestrial Races, you'll be able to see how these cards clarify that reading or that guidance. So with card number 1, we have the Ancient Ones, the Essence. The Ancient Ones are the shamans of the old who defeated death and escaped from the tyranny of life. The Ancient Ones once walked the earth like us in flesh and bone. Now they reside in infinity and can counsel us after we say yes to our calling. They are available to help us attain our full realization. The invitation. The Ancient Ones are inviting you to the future to help birth a new destiny for the earth. Go ahead, find out who you are becoming 10,000 years from now. If you accept the invitation, great power and blessings will come your way and allow you to craft a new destiny for yourself. Do not hesitate to bite off more than you can chew, because you have unlimited spiritual resources available right now. The medicine. The Ancient One beseeches you to examine your attitudes and actions and be sure that they are of the highest integrity. Not forgiving an ancestor or yourself is keeping you from the freedom you seek. Remember, this is no longer your karma. You can break the chains that once bound you to the family drama and be free of your generational curses. Forgive the ones you need to release. Honor your biological ancestors by lighting a candle to them tonight. So, if you remember in the video, I spoke on the fact of these kind of extraterrestrial beings, these ancient beings coming and teaching what I said in the video, earthlings, basically like new ways. But not only that, in the video I mentioned the fact that they that some light workers will have the opportunity to work and meet and be with these beings and learn from them. And obviously within this it says the ancient ones are inviting you to reach to the future to help birth a new destiny for the earth. Also in that video I mentioned that I'm seeing beings standing facing new earth, but I couldn't see their faces. And the fact that I also said it's the return of the ancient gods, and within this book it says the ancient ones are the shamans of old who defeated death and escaped the tyranny of life. The ancient ones once walked earth like us in flesh and bone, so they was known on earth. They had been here before. I also mentioned that the contact between these beings is not going to be something that's new. It's something that I feel had already happened before. Again, in the video I mentioned that light workers need to basically just walk forward with the components of their life that is going to serve them, that is beneficial for them, that is not holding them back. And with that, again, within this book, the Ancient One beseeches you to examine your attitudes and actions and be sure that they are of the highest integrity. Okay, so let's move to card number 2, the Andrine Cross. The essence. The Andrine Cross represents the cosmology of the shaman. It depicts the 4 cardinal directions, the upper and lower worlds, and the steps to reach each realm. If you can see it in the image, it's on about these steps, and these are the 4 corners. The hole in the center is a gateway to interdimensional travel, the proverbial eye of the needle we can all go through to experience higher states of awareness and wisdom and to break free of linear time. The invitation. The Andrine Cross announces the start of a great journey. It's time to raise your gaze from the mundane day-to-day to that which until now has seemed beyond your grasp. Allow new wisdom to guide you and stop trying to make sense of it all before you respond with a resounding yes. The medicine. The time has passed and the window of opportunity has closed. Now is not the moment to take that leap you have been over-preparing for. It is best to wait until conditions in heaven line up again to offer you a more I can't say that word, but okay. Any bold actions you take now will require tremendous effort on your part. Just as important as knowing when to act is knowing when to return to your inner stillness and wait for more favourable times. So with this, again, this is confirmation on the fact that when I was pulling through the guidance, it came to me about the sword, and that there's been portals opening, or the opening of some sort of portal to another dimension, to another realm. This card speaks on that, especially when it states that the hole in the center is a gateway to interdimensional travel. And again, allow new wisdom to guide you and stop trying to make sense of it all before you respond with a resounding yes. It's almost that in that video I did also say, are you basically going to go ahead? Are you going to go forward? Are you going to allow these beings to basically teach you, to guide you, to give you knowledge, to give you wisdom? And I'm feeling that it's a really good opportunity, and that we kind of should take it. If you're offered the opportunity to learn from such highly self-aware beings, I would take the opportunity. Okay, so let's move to the next card number 34, Many Paths. The essence. All paths lead to spirit. What you bring to your journey is what will determine if yours is a path of suffering, a path of wisdom, a path of bliss, or a path of loss. Consider the traveller who met two stonemasons. Consider the traveller who met two stonemasons. He asks one what he is doing, and the mason replies, "I am squabbling about this stone." He asks the other, who is doing the exact same thing, and gets the reply, "I am building a cathedral." One man has a job, the other man has found his work and calling. He is part of an endeavour much bigger than himself. Be sure to pick a path with a heart. The invitation. Your call now is to take a big bold step and leave the beaten path. Heaven and earth are conspiring on your behalf to support you in the move. Do not dally. This is literally confirmation. Do not dally lest you miss the moment. It's time to sail into the uncharted. Be sure you attend to both your path through the earth as well as your journey through the stars. The medicine. You have outgrown your current situation and risk losing your way in your own backyard. You are being called to step out of your comfort zone. Respond now while the call is still a gentle whisper. Even though the woods look thick and impenetrable, venture in and let nature guide your steps through the dark until you reach your destination. Remember, if you do not know where you are going, any path will take you there. Again, in that video, in the other video, I was saying how we all need to stand firm, basically, in who we are, in our own experiences, in our life journey. But not just that, it was about also sharing our life journey, because we all have a unique path. And again, in that video, I mentioned the fact that in the sharing is the realization that we are all one and the same, but that we are all individually different, that we all live the same path of having a human experience, but it's different. Also, another thing that is huge confirmation is the fact where it mentions the journey of being on earth, but also the stars. In that video, I mentioned that it feels like there's a star for, I think it's that video, there's a star for everybody, literally, to guide you to where you need to be. And I was being given biblical references. Also, what else? Sorry. Okay. Guidance that's coming forward to me when it's talking about be sure to tend to your path on the earth and be sure to tend to your path on the stars. It's basically using the stars and the cosmos as a metaphor for the inner realms, for the exploring of the deeper depths of yourself. It's saying to not just forget about earth, and it means earth as in earth being physical and tangible, and it's full of things that we can touch and feel and see, but space and the cosmos is stuff that we know is there, but we can't physically see it. We can't kind of access it just by grabbing it or walking to it. It's saying don't forget that that part of yourself, that inner part of yourself, is still worth exploration. What you bring to your journey is what will determine if yours is a path of suffering, a path of wisdom, a path of bliss, or a path of a loss. It's about perspective. But not only that, what else I thought was interesting was how literally these cards came 1, 2, 3 and 4. And what was coming to me was that it's not just this is kind of a cycle, a completion, but it's not just a completion, it's an ending. It's like the completion and the beginning, the ending, and the completion of something is all happening simultaneously in one go. Like all three are interconnected somehow, and it feels like the ancient ones are coming back to fulfill a task, to fulfill a role, and it feels like this is not the first time they've done it. It feels like they've done it more than once, and for some reason I'm getting 3. I don't know if that's like 3 beings or whether this is the 3rd time or the 3rd cycle of but something to do with 3. So I'm just gonna pull some tarot, see what comes through. I'm getting that kind of 7 of Swords. When it comes to the ancient ones, there are ancient ones for kind of everything. I can't explain it. It's that everything has a beginning, and the ancient ones are those beings from that beginning. And the ancient ones that I'm referring to, this is what's coming to me, are the beings from the beginning of this cycle, and it's pushing the word generation of humans. But when it means generation, it doesn't mean generation as in like grandma, great grandparents, grandchildren, and then like just children. It's given me in terms of like a whole cycle of humans, like Atlanteans, and then Homo sapiens, and so on. It's the beginning of our civilization on this planet. Those beings from that beginning are coming. Okay, but I'm seeing from Atlantis now. Beings from Atlantis. Okay, because in my head I just said, I thought they was kind of basically like, or dead, and it was pushed in my head that there are many still alive. There are many like hubs within this planet where life is everlasting. It's self-sustaining, but it's not self-sustaining in terms of that the family lineage continues to live. It's just that, like, I'm seeing kind of the atmosphere, the makeup of said place enables conscious remembering of life and death. And okay, it's bringing me back to the ancient ones, that kind of, that death becomes a choice in certain hubs or regions of the planet, so that when one does cross over, it's at will. Page of Swords. Okay, so I'm feeling a preparation of some kind, definitely, with this 8 of Pentacles. I'm feeling a preparation of kind of a battle or a war or something to do with tensions rising between people. This individual is kind of gathering up his weapons, but this individual's drawn his weapon as if he's ready for battle, and this individual's kind of just getting everything prepared, ensuring that the instruments are sharp, clean and shiny. But it's almost this idea about knowledge, and again the ancient ones, it's that the ancient ones are here to give wisdom and give knowledge, because wisdom and information is the true dismantler of war. It's the true I'm getting like it's the swords of swords is knowledge and truth and knowledge and wisdom is power. I'm getting granted access. I've been granted access. Okay. So I was watching something last night about the 144,000 and kind of the seal, and this card just triggered it for me because of this part on their forehead, on their crown. It's almost like I'm seeing the ancient ones kick, almost like a football here. It's not a football, it's almost like a seal, like an activation. It's almost, I can see them literally, it's almost like they are awakening people. I'm feeling that the 144,000 and the ancient ones are kind of connected or linked in some way. I'm hearing yes, we are. I'm hearing you are. It's almost that for the greater good, like everything becomes connected when it's for the greater good, is what's coming to me. Okay, I'm getting that at this time I'm working with the ancient ones. If you decide that you do want to work with them, that the things that they kind of can bring forward and can push into your conscious mind and give for you to express to others can be things that are very much so, I want to say, out there. Things that may be very, very hard to believe and hard to fathom, but it's kind of gonna, it's up to you. It's for you to, okay, I'm getting usual discernment, more so usual discernment when to know who to share certain things with, because sometimes it's pointless speaking certain things on ears that are closed. but I'm seeing that with this Five of Swords is that although it's all going to, it might feel very much so like pressure, big pressure that's been placed on you, or a big kind of responsibility to have such information or have such knowledge. It's such transformative knowledge that you will turn from this kind of moth to a butterfly. And I'm getting something to do with ley lines, like the ley lines of the earth, and like cobwebs, like spider webs. And I'm getting to do with navigation. Your sense of navigating the planets will come easier, but with more wonder. Don't know, but that your sense, yeah, that your sense of navigating the planet, it's almost like you're going to just naturally know where to go. I'm getting like temperature. Okay, it's like you're going to be proper in sync with Earth. Like your genetic makeup and Earth's genetic makeup is going to become, I want to say, interlinked, so that you can like feel the Earth within your being, if that makes sense. Seven of Cups. Yes. So I'm getting that your heightened self, your spiritual self, your intuitive self is going to be heightened. It's going to be at its highest it could ever be. And there's something to do with working with these ancient ones. It gives you access and abilities that are far beyond, I want to say, mankind, or far beyond even the knowledge of mankind, or something. And I'm getting interdimensional travel, definitely. But it feels that this is going to be a new journey for the majority of beings on Earth. Not that similar journeys haven't happened before, but that this one, it's going to be something new for the masses. And I feel that there may all of a sudden be knowledge pumped out about the ancient ones. The Seven of Wands. Yes. So I can see lots of knowledge being pumped out. Emotional fulfillment. Lots of knowledge being pumped out. It's kind of exciting, but there's going to be people that are going to be a little bit defensive. Okay, I see that people that are going to be in those who are going to have the ability to receive guidance and knowledge and contact from the ancient ones and these other interdimensional beings. I'm getting that they are not the only ones, but the ancient ones are kind of the highest caliber that are coming through at this moment. That those who have the ability to connect or communicate with them is kind of, I feel like they're going to be a little bit defensive with sharing with others, or saying that, or accepting that yes, that person is communicating with them too, or that person is receiving guidance too. We just have to, again, trust the guidance that we're individually getting, and be open to hearing the guidance from others. Because again, there's no point fighting these people, because they are fighting with sticks that are one and the same. They may have a different perspective or a different stick, but that stick comes from the same tree. That stick comes from the same source. It's the perspective of love, of light, of the greater. Okay, so I was just going to end it there, but I'm getting a message from Guy that I should pull one more card, so I'm going to pull it from this Nature's Whispers Oracle deck. Let's see what comes forward. Empowerment. Okay, and for some reason I'm getting called to read. The moment for respect for life and all living things, attuning to nature and to the creatures of earth is at hand. Tune into the deep well of compassion that spills over readily to anyone who needs your help. Again, in the other video I mentioned the act of compassion and the fact that if you're working from love, or if you're doing anything to do with source, that is working from compassion, that's working from love. But again, a moment ago I just mentioned that I can see like DNA changing to match that of the earth, so that there's a deeper feeling of and a deeper connectedness to the earth. And that's what this is saying, that attuning to nature and the creatures of the earth is at hand. Tune into the deep well of compassion that spills over readily to anyone who needs your help. You are being directed to take action to remove difficulties and resolve problems. Be receptive to guidance from wherever it happens to come. Don't be surprised to receive support from unusual avenues. Be alert to seemingly random input, which will give you clues and ideas that had not occurred to you earlier. Once you have picked up these signs, pursue them diligently and with determination. The potential for them to pay off is immense. As soon as you know what action to take it. So again, that's referring to the guidance that many of us are going to receive and are beginning to receive. That yes, it may seem very much so outside of us and very much so hard to believe, but it's about having trust, especially if it's a thought or something that's never been within your conscious before, and you've made the conscious attempt to connect with energy, and that's what's coming forward. Trust it, believe it, and share it. Okay, so that's all for this video on the ancient ones. I have a feeling that they are going to be present with me in the next coming weeks. So I thank you for being with me. I send you peace and divine light. Peace and love.